Hello, everyone, and welcome to another workshop for Global Lighthouse Studios. My name is Donna Guerin, founder of Global Lighthouse Studios. We connect teachers and students around the world through the lens of music and the arts. And I'm excited to welcome back Marrioth Ling. She is an artist who was with us last week for an incredible workshop, and she is back for part 2 to talk a little more in depth about art and installations. So welcome, Marrioth, and the floor is yours whenever you want it.
Thank you, Donna. Thank you for the invite. And hi, everybody who is watching or who's going to watch the repetition of this meeting today. So I will share my screen for everybody who was last week. We were talking about art and introduction of art installations, and we will go a little bit more in depth a little bit more in depth art installations today, and also we will incorporate some examples of art installations with food. So I hope you like it.
Wonderful.
Thank you. 1 second, I'm going to share my screen. Let me know if you see it.
Okay, there it goes.
Perfect. So for start, with directly with the point of art installations. Art installation is an immersive three-dimensional experience that transforms space into a living artwork. Unlike traditional paintings or sculptures, installations invite viewers to step into the artist's world, whether through physical interaction, sensory engagement, or emotional connection. So there is a little bit of a difference between a sculpture and art installation, even if sculpture is also three-dimensional in the majority of the cases. Three-dimensional means that it have height, length, and width. So it have three dimensions that we can measure in volume. So art installations is more like you can put the sculptures in an art installation, but it's more like an arrangement of objects that are there for create an experience for the viewer. Art installations, by the way, are every day more and more popular, but before they were not. So I want to mention here which the ones that I believe are the most influential artists in art installations, or in my opinion, which is personal. This is Christo and Jean Claude, and they are no longer here in this world. I will talk a little bit about their work because I think it's really inspiring and really different. So as you can see here in this slide, this picture is the installation that they did around this island in Miami in the 82s. This was signed only by Cristo because at that time it was Jean Claude, which it was his wife. It was a woman, so it for a permitting situation, it seems like if it was going to be easier to get the permitting to do this art installation in that time. So that was in 82, and the name is Surrounded Islands. Christo and Jean Claude were artists noted for their large scale. Sorry, oops. 1 second.
No problem.
I lose the presentation. This is funny. 1 moment, please. I might need a second to locate
Okay.
this. And
yeah, no problem.
you.
Sometimes technology is not our best friend. So here, let me.
Oh, yeah, there it is
There we
again.
go.
Sorry, I was just trying to hide the title. Would say it underneath. It was a little bit in the middle of everything. So, um, I was telling that. Oh, okay. So these two artists, which were married, they were noted for their large scales, site-specific environmental installations, often large landmarks and landscapes elements wrapped in fabric, including the Reichstag, the Pont Neuf in France, or the running fence in California, or the gates in New York City were one of the most famous artworks of Christo and Jean Claude. There is very interesting things about their work. It's a lot of years of preparation. Like every project had like a huge process of preparation, like permitting and budgeting, etc. And at the end, the projects long last only approximately 2 weeks. So it was very impermanent and very special. A lot of visitors, and even if they are not ultra famous for people who don't know about art, they are very important in the art history, contemporary art. So their work was typically large, visually impressive and controversial, often taking, well, like I say, years in preparation, political negotiation, technical solutions, permitting, and environmental approval. Christian Jean Claude described the myriad elements that brought the projects to fruition as integral to the artwork itself, and said their projects contain no deeper meaning than their immediate aesthetic impact. So their purpose being simply for joy, beauty, and new ways of seeing the familiar, which I think it's really like it takes a lot of courage to say that, because artists normally are trying to find uh, the fifth leg to the cat. Let's say, I don't know if you understand that. And just because we are every time trying to justify ourselves, justify our idea, and sometimes we have to make like super complex explanations of things that sometimes they don't have, and they are just like a spontaneous expression of our imagination. So when I see like king size artists like them saying that they do this because they think it's for the pure joy of the aesthetic pleasure, it's like, well, it's really, it's cool. Um, so these, for example, these installations that you see here, it was in New York. The gates, it needed 5,000 tons of steel for its construction, which is the equivalent of two-thirds of the Eiffel Tower in Paris. Um, that was justified by Christian Jean Claude determination to leave each site in its original state. They didn't want to make any hole in the park, the central park, and therefore they designed frames with metal bases, who weighed 350 kilograms each, so they don't flew in the air like it happened one time to them. They had a big accident with some umbrellas one time. Um, and it was a way they were willing to pay for the complete conservation of the environment of the park. um, I will talk later about the material. So this is another one. This is the valley curtain in Colorado. That was in 1970. There is no artist of this size right now, or who do this type of things. This is the Reichstag in Germany. The name of the installation was the Rapid Reichstag in Berlin. in 95. Everybody who knows about the history of this country will know how polemic this was. Um, so that's how you can see the installation from the top. Um,
Can you go
this
back 1 second to the one in Colorado, just because that's where I'm located? So I was interested in that one for just a second. Maybe you could just talk a little bit about that. So it looks like it's on the way to the mountains, but is that like supposed to represent some big curtain or?
Well, I mean, this one, it is, the name is Valley Curtain. And I have not a lot of information about this one, except that it was on the middle of the road, but the cars can still passing through the curtain. And like I say, those projects were never staying for a long time. Like the duration of this installation was possibly around 2 weeks. Particularly this one, I don't know how long it long lasts, but yeah, they were not. They were not created to long last too much time. Also,
Yes,
they recycle the materials of their art installations after, so they use it for other things, um, or they donate it to the city for the like to use this fabric for different purposes.
wonderful. I just, like some of these art installations that you're showing are massive. They're huge. So I can't even imagine the undertaking of not only how long they last, but just how long they take to construct. I mean, even this one right now that you're showing looks tremendous. I mean,
Yeah, there is a documentary of if you go to Christian Jean Claude in Google, you can find a documentary who explain a little bit the process and all the team that is behind. A lot of people helping them to build these things. This, for example, was the London Mastaba in Hyde Park in London. That was in 2016, and it was made of oil barrels.
wow.
This one is the last one. It was in 2021, and it was their last project, which it was not executed by themselves. So this project was on the make it, and they died. So the foundation of Christian Jean Claude, they completed the project exactly how it was meant to be. So that they grab up the Arc of the Triomphe in Paris, and they recycle and upcycle the materials following the artist's vision. They grabbed the monument in over 25,000 square meters of fabric, tied with 7,000 meters of red rope. So this is Cristo. That was like one of the sketches of the project, and this was the final. Like this is the real picture of how the Arc of the Triumph was looking when they installed this. This is a little video that I want to share about the vision of the artist.
This project, they're about freedom. This project exists not because some president of the republic like to have them or some corporate executive. This project is pure demonstration of creativity. Nobody can buy this project. Nobody can charge tickets for this project. Even ourselves, Jean-Claude, myself, we don't own this project. This project, they're so free. This is why they cannot stay, because freedom is enemy of possession, and possession is equal of permanent. This project, they're about freedom.
Okay, well, so this is him, ultra impressive artist, and one of the reasons because I become an artist was to learning about this type of artist when I was very young. So an installation can be made from anything, natural materials, digital projections, sound, or even food. turning the ordinary into something profound. It challenge or something profound or not, depends on what do you want to, what message do you want to deliver. It challenged perception, tells stories, and spark conversation, making art not just something to observe, but something to experience. This is another example of an artist who do art installations, and in this case, she have these sculptures of pumpkins as a part of her imaginarium. Um, she built these infinity rooms, um, which I think she could be like. I don't have any other reference of who created this type of rooms. Very tiny, teeny space with a lot of mirrors. And who are reflecting and multiplying the element who is interacting, or who is interacting with the person that is visiting the infinity room. The
Yeah.
infinity room can be even a box where you put your face into it. I have seen infinity rooms ultra small, like where I put my face inside. I can find you an example. Um,
Yeah, I actually did a deep dive into this artist uh, with my elementary school students, and I know she's sometimes known as like the dot artist. She uses dots in her, and her rooms that she creates are incredible. And like you said, these infinity rooms. And I just put up that quote that you were just saying, which is that art is not something just to be observed, but something to experience. And I think that she does a fantastic job of providing that experiential piece. And that's what I love about what you're speaking about today, which is these art installations, is that they are not just something to observe, but yeah, something to experience. So sorry, I didn't mean to jump in on you, but I just,
no, I love it.
my students had such a fun time. Just coming up with with artwork, and just from the simpleness of a dot, and what can that look like to you, and you know, students and young people as young as 5 years old can create art around dots, and what does that mean to you? So I just love that you brought up this artist, because it's a really great example of experiential art. So
Yes, thank you very much, and I love that you give us your point of view too, because obviously you are super involved in art education. So I thank you for saying your opinion. You can interfere every time.
okay, good to know.
Joy Kusama, which is her, I don't know, well, if you guys already talked about her before, so I don't know if I should repeat myself talking about her.
Oh no, please do. This was in one classroom a few years back, so I would love for you to tell us a little bit more.
Okay, cool. So she's a Japanese artist. She worked across many mediums as a sculpture, installation, painting, performance, and fashion. She was born in 1929. She's alive. Her work is characterized by dots, which she calls a path to infinity. Her installations, known as infinity rooms, create mirrored environments that resemble celestial expanses. She loves repetition, and pumpkins are a recurring motif in her work. Um, Pumpkins for her symbolize comfort, nostalgia, and personal connection to her childhood. She also battled a lot of mental health issues through art, which it's beautiful, I think. So this, for example, this installation is only sculpture, and it's the pumpkin motif, as we were talking before. The name is aspiring to pumpkins love, the love in my heart. That was made on 2023. This is more pumpkins on a garden. This is an infinity room, dreaming of Earth sphericity. It's a lot of dots. I took a picture inside. It is, or it was, in the Museum of San Francisco. Um, and I was there some months ago. It's very small. Well, it is not too small, but it seems way bigger than it is in reality. So that's in the left side. You can see how it is outside the box, and inside is like that. I was luckily alone that day, so I can take a picture and nobody was appearing there. That was another one. This one it was not an infinity room, but I was there in a. It was very impressive. She made a collaboration with a brand called Louis Vuitton, which they sell their forte selling bags, let's say. And this is the headquarters of Louis Vuitton in France. And they asked Yayoi Kusama to intervene and create like and design a collection of bags. So the bags were they designed with dots of colors. So then they use the building of the offices of Louis Vuitton, and they put the dots of her and the huge sculpture like if she was painting. So I think it was very creative way of uh, advertise this collection. So I wanted to bring it up. So art can be used to communicate message, evoke emotions, challenge perspective, or simply create beauty. It reflects culture, history, and personal experiences, making it a powerful tool for storytelling and self-expression. Uh, Also, I wanted to say this because maybe I don't know, like this is our possibly our first and only contact, but I wanted to tell you that creativity is a muscle. So, as every muscle, you gotta exercise to get it strong. You have to exercise your creativity, which means try to do creative things every day if you are interested in art at some point or like or in grow this muscle of the creativity. So the most the like if you are actively working on expand your creativity, the most creative you become. Maybe sometimes it is not that if you are gifted by a supreme talent, but it's if you are also persistent, if you are disciplined, and if you try to find ways to do the things that you want to do. Um, I bring also this quote, which is from Jerry Saltz, because I think it is good to read about art if you are interested about art. So then you can learn, and I think he's a good lecturer. He's a critic from New York Times, and he said that 85% of the art you see isn't good, but everyone has a different opinion about which 85% is bad, which means everybody have a different opinion about what you do and doesn't matter.
Yes, absolutely.
Here, well, I bring three ideas. I think they are extremely complicated, which I don't like. But there still being some ideas, and I just wanted to bring them up because we were talking about installations now, incorporating this with food, which I think it can be complicated. How we can use this installations idea and don't waste food, or like I'm going just to tell you three ideas that I think they can be useful and don't involve like the waste of the food. So one is food miles maze. One idea of installation is a walkthrough maze illustrating the journey of different foods from farm to table. The visitors of these installations can choose paths uh, representing locally sourced, regionally produced or imported foods. learning how transportation affects the environment. Signs and checkpoints display CO2 emissions, packaging waste, and the impact of different transport methods. The maze highlights the hidden cost of food miles and encourage sustainable eating habits. At the end, the visitors can calculate their personal food miles and explore alternatives like buying local and eating seasonally. Interactive stations allows them to swap high mileage food for sustainable options. And these installations make the global food system more tangible and encourage mindful consumption. This is one idea. Very complicated. Another one, but it's complicated there. But if you want to do it, it's not. Plastic soup. This is another one, and the theme is pollution and food safety. So it's a giant, oversized bowl of soup filled with plastic waste instead of with food. And the piece symbolizes how microplastic enter our food chain through pollution. So then how you can make it like more interactive, creating a sound installation like with ocean sounds, mix it with plastic rustling. So the visitors can fish out plastic items and read facts about pollution impact on food systems. This is another idea. Another idea is a living sculpture, which is the one that I like the most, but is the most simple one, and I think that make it better. So the theme is sustainable farming practices. So it's a vertical garden installation that demonstrate different farming techniques that are maybe good to show to the public, like hydroponics, which is a method of growing plants without soil, using nutrient-rich water, or aeroponic, which is also another method where the roots are suspended and the air is misted with nutrient solutions, or permaculture, which is how they design a system for agriculture on places where like the plants are not endemic, let's say, trying to mimic the ecosystem of the plant. So in this idea, the plants that we will grow are edible. So will be lettuce, kale, and basil, uh, strawberries, tomatoes, and peppers, mushrooms, and quinoa, chickpeas, and pollinator-friendly plants that are lavender and marigolds to make it like sustainable. And this system use less water than traditional farming, maximizes space efficiency, let's say, and I think like the only or the real use or of these is that the visitors can see it and can think about it and can read about it and can possibly do something about it by themselves. So I create these images with artificial intelligence, like some examples of how you can make like a sculpture and also like a vertical garden. The first time I saw a vertical garden was many years ago, and I love them. So these are just some examples of how it could be, but it's just a dream.
Well, what a great way to incorporate nature and also, sustainable agriculture. I actually, when I was looking at that, what I was thinking of is for anyone who's ever been to Disney World, they have one of their exhibits is called Living with the Land, and they take you on a small little boat ride, and you can see they don't have them. They're not this elaborate. They're not sculptures per se, but they are these artistic impressions of sustainable agriculture, and what a wonderful way to incorporate nature and also sustainable agriculture practices into art. So thank you for sharing that. That's
Yes,
wonderful.
thanks to you. I'm glad you like it. Um, Going out of these three ideas, well, the three ideas were Donna made only for them to know, like if I have to think about an installation who have something to do with food. So then how can I will develop an idea or something? But it is endless. Like these are only three ideas. If I see it, I could have many others, and I'm sure they can have also many other ideas. They can be like more oriented to aesthetics, or if they want to deliver like on a particular message. At the end, I have an activity that I would like that you share with them, so maybe they can do it at school and maybe share that the information with their teachers, and maybe talk about what they have been thinking after this conversation that we are having today.
Absolutely. I mean, I'd love to share that. And teachers, wherever you are around the world, tuning in or watching this on the replay, we look forward to Marrioth sharing her lesson idea that you can use with students. And I would love to have you post and share or send to me anything that you do in the classroom that is around this idea. So thank you.
Thank you. So I bring some other examples of food incorporated to art installations, or to art work. So this one, for example, it's grounding. It was made in 2020 by Rafael Perez Evans. Grounding was a site-specific intervention exploring some of the tensions in visibility between the rural and the city, fusing a monumental gesture of farmers' protest with a simple therapeutical ritual. So the artists explored grounding, the large Pimlott glass building in Goldsmith College in England. He dumped 29 tons of fresh, unwanted carrots into it. I don't know. I mean, I'm not a part of the food system, but apparently these carrots were rejected for a reason. Um, Bringing into contact two disparate forms, a large contemporary glass building and fresh carrots. Perez Evans, which is the artist, borrows the gesture of dumping from European farmers protest to transform it into a sculptural tool for grounding. According to the artist, dumping is a form of protest regularly used by European farmers who react against a central government that devalues their labor. Vegetables such as carrots or potatoes become monumental barricades that can block governmental buildings or roads and interrupt the usual city flow. Um, I mean, Perez Evans have more deep work that I don't want to go into it, but if you want to investigate about him, it is very interesting. I also found this other example called Fluid Table. It's Fluid Table. I think they are in Shanghai, and they they are a food art practice group. They are using food as an artistic medium, and they explore dining activities and dynamic relationships, primarily through ceramic fabrics, installations, photography, sound, and performance art. So, for example, the third picture that you see in this slide, which it's kind of like a huge sculpture. In each part of this sculpture, that it was food, and the visitor can eat it. Um, these other examples, they are kind of braiding with food and in a park that was a performance, and also the way that they craft these dining experiences, like in the left picture all these forks and spoons and pending from the ceiling, and it's a little bit performative. Um, Also, there is information online about them. This other example, it's someone that I really like. I love his desserts. I tried by myself and I made lines of 2 hours waiting for his food. Uh,
Mhm.
his name is Cedric Rollet. He's a French pastry chef, and he do hyper realistic desserts that resemble fruits, as well as his modern take on classic French pastries. His works blend art and culinary expertise, sorry, making his desserts not only delicious but visually stunning. So here you can see a little
Look
bit.
lemon,
Qu'est-ce citron,
look lemon,
dis-moi qu'est-ce citron,
look lemon.
qu'est-ce citron,
Citron, on va pas tout côté. Look lemon,
qu'est-ce citron,
look lemon,
dis-moi qu'est-ce citron,
look lemon.
qu'est-ce citron,
Citron, on nous caouer en soirée. Citron, on nous caouer tout côté. Citron, yo ka mené pendant fête. Pendant tout yo là, yo pendant carnaval. Les femmes là, ka mette les chité. Yo plus sexy, yo plus what a pompi. Après yo ka dit que c'est nous qui pas bon. Perdez mes produits, yo ka dit nous garder citron. Look lemon,
qu'est-ce citron,
look lemon,
dis-moi qu'est-ce citron,
look lemon.
qu'est-ce citron,
Citron, on nous caouer tout côté. Look lemon,
qu'est-ce citron,
look lemon,
dis-moi qu'est-ce citron.
look lemon, look lemon.
So
That was awesome. Thanks for sharing that. That was fun to watch.
yeah. So he sometimes when he's in his shop, he start cooking and he give away to the people that is watching outside. There is long lines to eat his desserts. So that he have an Instagram. The name is Cedric Rollet, and I recommend you to visit it because it's very fun to see all the videos he have.
Great. I'll look for it so I could put it up so if people want to watch it.
Yes. So this was the activity that I was recommending to do. It's you can imagine that you are going to build an art installation and draw it. So you have there like a space for title your installation, describe your concept. So what is your installation about? What message or feeling do you want to express through it? Materials and mediums. So what food items or materials will you use? Will you mix real food with other materials? Or what you will do? Interaction. So how people will experience your installation. Can they touch it, smell it, taste it, only watch it? Like how is the dynamic of the human visiting the installation that you are going to propose? So another question is, how big is your installation? Like, how do you imagine it? The size will fit on a table, will cover a whole room, or will be outdoors in a garden or something. I don't know. The other part of the exercise is sketch your installation, so you can draw it and label like key elements to explain the design. The other part is what inspired your idea, what do you want people to feel when they see your installation, which is going to be different for every human who goes to see your installation if you do it. Would you change or add anything to your idea, and why? So that will be it. That's the exercise I will share with you, Donna. So if you can share with them, that would be cool.
Yeah. Thank you so much. That was wonderful. And I love that you gave so many different types of examples about art installations. And I love how you brought it back to food, which is what we're currently studying right now. So I'm looking forward to the some of these as inspiration, and I will be sure to share your lesson idea with the teachers that are part of this project around the world. We have students and teachers from over about 25 countries that are participating. So I'm looking forward to seeing what kind of art inspirations or art installations that they come up with from your viewpoint today. And we are always happy to welcome you here, Marrioth. You bring such an energy that, and just, I love all of your ideas and projects that you bring to the forefront. And so thank you so much for being here today. If you're interested in getting in touch with her, I'm going to go ahead and put up her her link to her studio webpage so that you can go ahead and check out some of the work that Marrioth does. And so once again, thank you so much for being here today, and we welcome you back anytime. Thank you to those of you who are listening from all over the world, and until next time, we'll see you then. Thanks so much.
Thank you.